We talked in a previous video about meetings and about, well, the three reasons that it's critical that as a people leader, you do meetings, you have meetings, and you're consistent in delivering meetings, whether they're individual or team. Today we're going to start the part of the series where we talk about the four different types of meetings. I'm going to introduce them to you in this video, and then we're going to record four separate videos to take a deeper dive into each one. Okay, so you'll get a taste of it today, but then check out those other four videos for a deeper dive. All right, so here are the four types of meetings. I'll go through them first. I'll lay them out for you, and then I'll go back and just give you a snapshot on each one of them. The first is observations and feedback. So this is obviously one-on-one. It's an individual thing. You're going to observe somebody and then give them feedback. That's one. Two is what I call bookend meetings. You can call them other things. I've heard them called sandwich meetings, but whatever. Bookend meetings, one on Monday, one on Friday. And it just sets the expectations for the week. Okay, that's number two. Number three is huddles. Huddle is something that's short, quick, sweet, laser focused. All right, so we'll talk about that. That also involves team, maybe not the entire team, but it certainly involves the team. And then the last one, speaking of team, is team meeting. So that's the more formal, traditional type of meeting, if you will, that many of us grew up with and have experienced a lot of. Okay, so let's go back through them. Observation and feedback. First of all, it's one-on-one, as I mentioned. You have to schedule the time to observe. And that's the biggest challenge, no question about it. Not only are you guys busy, but you got a lot of demands already on your calendar, but this is important, guys. In fact, it's critically important. And so it has to become a high priority. And one way you make it a high priority is you put it on your calendar and you stick to it. Now, tell your people ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be doing observations on Thursday morning. So, look for me hanging out outside your office or listening over your shoulder, that type of a thing. And there are different ways to tee up those observations. So you got to do the observation, but then here's the key. You got to give the feedback right away. That's where the coaching comes into play. If you do an observation and you don't give feedback for a day, 2 days, a week, the next time you have a one-on-one, you've totally lost all of the impact that your feedback meeting can have. So you have to do it almost immediately if possible, but if the traffic in the branch doesn't allow immediately, within an hour or so, you have to carve out time. And we're only talking about 5 minutes here. Especially if you tee up the meeting, as I mentioned earlier, tell them you're going to be doing these observations. They should also know what you're looking for. So do the feedback immediately if possible. All right, bookends. Bookends can be individually or they can be a team. I did mention that earlier. But here's an example of how you can do bookends, and I'm going to use a branch manager as an example. Monday morning, you set the expectation that by 10 o'clock, your team, your individual direct reports are going to email you with their priorities for the week. I know you guys got a lot going on, but what are your top 3 priorities this week? What are you focused on, or what do you expect to be spending most of your time on? Send that to me by 10 o'clock on Monday morning, and then by 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, send me a recap of how you did. Did you fulfill on those, or did you miss the mark? So there's got to be that recap on Friday to make it the bookend. Huddles should be short and sweet, 5 minutes at the most. maybe a little bit less. They got to have some meat to them. So let's say 3 to 5 minutes, at least once a week, maybe twice a week. Twice is good because this way you don't have to require that people come in for the huddle. So if they're scheduled off on Monday and you're going to do one Monday morning, well, then you're also going to do one on Wednesday morning and make sure that they're scheduled for Wednesday morning. So that way you can catch almost everybody on your staff, I would think. So have 2 huddles a week, 3 to 5 minutes is the time commitment. And then the last one is team meetings. Now, these are a little bit longer, okay? So this I'm going to propose that you do once a month. If you're real ambitious, twice a month, but generally speaking, once a month. And this is where you get all your direct reports together. Now, this is something that, again, scheduling's got to factor in, but I would encourage you to require attendance at these team meetings, because this is where you are going to be communicating some updated information, and we'll talk about what that might mean. But then you're also going to be developing skills and focusing on what you want the staff to do bigger, better, or different going forward as a result of the meeting. So those are the 4 types: observations and feedback, bookend, huddles, and team meetings. Look for more videos, one on each of those, to take a deeper dive. Okay?